While everyone loves a good blockbuster from time to time, there's something about a great independent film that strikes a particular chord. Indie movies can feel like hidden gems when you discover them, as they rarely get the kind of distribution or marketing that turns major studio movies into box office hits. And you often feel the blood, sweat, and tears that went into making an indie movie, as the filmmakers involved put everything on the line for the sake of their art. So since Netflix contains a multitude of viewing options, we've figured it'd be appropriate to go through and put all the very best independent films currently available on the streaming service. So peruse through our list of the best indie movies on Netflix right now. Welcome to Cinematic. Here we present to you the best indie movies on Netflix right now. Now before I start, I request you to subscribe to my channel, like and share my video, and stay tuned for more such amazing upcoming videos. Also, do follow my page on Instagram @cinematic3. So the first one, A Ghost Story.
We build our legacy piece by piece, and maybe the whole world will remember you, or maybe just a couple of people, but you do what you can to make sure you're still around after you're gone.
Right off the bat, I'll say that A Ghost Story is not for everyone. But if you're into the idea of an indie about existentialism of life as told by a ghost story, this might be for you. Next, The Florida Project.
I'm gonna talk to Ashley, by the way. When your friend puts you in charge of her kid, that kid becomes your responsibility. You ain't taking responsibility. And you got that one too? She's from Futureland, right?
Oh, whatevs. You gotta relax, my man.
It is brilliant and human. It will absolutely break your heart. This is an essential watch. Next, Free Fire.
Justine, as gorgeous as ever. Well, you've put on a bit of weight.
Fuck off.
What if an entire movie took place during a Mexican standoff? That's essentially the premise of Ben Wheatley's Free Fire, which is a violent R-rated good time. And now next, Cloud Atlas.
What are you reading?
Old letters.
Why do you keep reading them?
I don't know. Just trying to understand why we keep making the same mistakes over and over.
It's a weird movie to be sure, with a structure that's more in line with a symphony rather than a traditional film, but if you give yourself over to the experience, you may just find yourself moved in surprising ways. Next, Freaks. It's one of those movies that will have you leaning in more and more with its early curiosities before absolutely exploding with creativity as Chloe discovers more and more about her reality. Next, Nightcrawler.
Why hire you? Sell yourself.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Well, I'm Rick, of course. I took 3 buses to get here. I finished high school. I need a job. I'll do pretty much anything. That's me. Hi, Rick.
An utterly dark yet compelling thriller in the vein of A Taxi Driver, the 2014 film Nightcrawler features one of the Jake Gyllenhaal's best performances ever. Next, Hostiles.
I've killed savages because that's my job. You have no idea what war does to a man.
It's a severe meditative western about violence, prejudice, and forgiveness in which Bale gives an unsurprisingly great performance. Next, Frances Ha.
It's that thing when you're with someone and you love them and they know it and they love you and you know it.
This isn't a particular plot-driven film and instead succeeds more on Gerwig's unending charm and Baumbach's flighty intimate style. It's a delightful comedy gem of the indie variety. Next, Roma. It's a heartbreaking and yet almost otherworldly piece of cinema that's sure to put all the heartstrings. And now next, Sleeping with Other People.
Full circle.
Yeah, don't have a baby, guys. No offense, but seriously, just be safe. You know what I mean?
It's a hilarious, sweet, and at times very dirty spin on the rom-com formula that's a pure delight to watch, and a reminder that romantic comedies can be indie movies too. Next, While We're Young.
We're worried about you guys.
Yeah, I respect the fact that you don't want to have kids.
Don't make this about the baby cult, okay, Marina? I don't appreciate that kind of superior attitude. It's really ugly.
That's not what
The film has a lot to say about image and passage of time, but it's also just incredibly funny. Next, Swiss Army Man.
When I get back home, I'm gonna show Sarah how much I care about her every single day.
Swiss Army movie is guaranteed to be a viewing experience you'll never forget. Next, Newness. Newness is a movie made for the Netflix and chill era, as it takes a microscope to the world of online dating and casual hookups. Next, The Invitation.
Has he been like this a lot? So agitated.
Sometimes.
Well, I'm glad he has you.
If you're in the mood for a horror movie that will really mess you up, but not in a super graphic way, then The Invitation is the film for you. Next, The Incredible Jessica James. The Incredible Jessica James is a refreshing spin on the rom-com that doesn't pander to the lowest common denominator. And now next, The Evil Dead. A true horror classic and a quintessential independent film. Seriously, the budget on this thing is tiny. You simply must see the original The Evil Dead. In terms of pure cinema history and a prime example of young aspiring filmmakers just doing the dang thing rather than waiting for permission to make a movie, The Evil Dead is a must-see.